John MacArthur is one of the most polarizing Christians in America today.
Do you doubt the numbers they're putting out?
Yeah, I actually do. I think they're having trouble in the state of California. The governor just declared that he was firing the state health director because the system, the computer system, had miscounted all kinds of things. So the whole state is in an uproar.
What's wrong with that?
Because it's a wrong relationship. It's a sinful relationship. It's an unnatural relationship. It's a relationship that obviously common sense tells you can't produce children and care for children in the way that
that's the only
humanity's
reason for marriage,
there's more to say than that.
Thousands attend Grace Community Church, where MacArthur pastors and preaches, and many more thousands follow him through his online ministry, Grace to You. John MacArthur is an extremely high-profile pastor who attracts lots of attention and scrutiny because of his controversial positions on a number of issues. During the pandemic, MacArthur continued to hold in-person church services despite heavy criticism and threats from governing officials. For many, MacArthur's actions and decisions were reckless, endangering the lives of both those who attend his church and the community around him. As expected, the mainstream media targeted MacArthur because of his decision. And interestingly, even many Christians were critical of MacArthur.
Keep hearing them say over and over, the Lord commands us to meet, the Lord commands us to meet. He does not.
But for others, MacArthur was a pastor who boldly refused to compromise on what the Bible teaches about the importance for believers to regularly fellowship together in person.
You're not going to tell us that we can't worship and sing to Jesus over something with a 99% survival rate. You can't do that to us. We're going to obey God rather than men. I stand with Pastor John MacArthur here. He's a hero. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to move it over to you. This is so important. Pastor John is a hero of the time right now. He absolutely is, and we need to praise God for him. We need to support him. We need to send money if necessary. If this thing gets difficult for them, we need to do what we can to support the hero of our time.
Many believe that the government went too far in prohibiting Christians from gathering together for church, and MacArthur was one pastor who defied tyrannical leaders.
You don't need to fire a shot. Just terrify people that they might die, and they'll all roll over in complete compliance. They'll give up their freedoms, they'll put on silly masks, they'll put gloves on their hands, and they'll sit in their house for as long as you tell them to sit there. You can conquer an entire nation with fear.
Another issue that has made MacArthur one of the most hated pastors in America is his position concerning the roles of men and women within the church and family.
But I do not allow women to teach or exercise authority over a man, but to remain quiet. That is so absolute. It's unbending. No preaching, no teaching, no leading position in the church.
For many, MacArthur represents sexism, patriarchy, and condescension towards women. But for others, MacArthur is a pastor who is bold and unashamed about what the Bible clearly teaches. In a culture where so many supposed pastors have compromised in this area, MacArthur is one high-profile pastor who not only refuses to bow down to cultural and societal pressure, but does not ignore or shy away from the battle. MacArthur believes the Bible's teachings concerning the roles of men and women in the church and family are both God-honoring and good for those who understand them. So he refuses to compromise on this important issue. MacArthur is also uncompromising concerning the issue of homosexuality.
And let me say at the very beginning, and I will show you this, but I want to say it because I want you to understand it. Homosexual sin is nothing more or nothing less than a perverse sexual act or acts. It is no more than that. It is no less than that. It is a perverse, abnormal, sexual behavior.
MacArthur stands in stark contrast to countless other high-profile pastors who have compromised on this issue.
I just knew too many wonderful Christian people who were in gay relationships.
And of course, MacArthur is hated by many for his Calvinist theology. All non-Christians, and even many Christians, find abhorrent the idea that God is absolutely sovereign over and in control of absolutely everything that occurs in His creation, including over salvation itself. But again, for others, MacArthur is a pastor who refuses to compromise concerning what the Bible teaches. The Bible's clear teachings concerning Calvinism may be deeply unpopular, but they are nevertheless true, incredible, and God-glorifying.
Being born again is an act of God. Being born again is a supernatural act. Being born again is something that you don't ask for, you don't have sense enough to ask for, you're dead. God does this, and it's by His grace that He does this, and it's for His glory that He does this. It is because of Christ that He does this, and it is by grace alone.
Those who truly understand Calvinism will experience the fullness of joy that God created them to experience. MacArthur recognizes this, and so he continues to faithfully teach theology that is offensive to so many. Of course, John MacArthur is not a perfect man. Nobody is. MacArthur has said some things that were unnecessarily offensive.
The word is Bethmore. Go home.
I have sometimes wondered why Pastor Vodi Bakum has called John MacArthur one of his greatest heroes, despite MacArthur's significantly differing views concerning dispensationalism and the Old Testament. The answer almost certainly lies in what we have already said. In a culture where so many pastors have bowed to societal pressure and compromised on significant biblical issues, John MacArthur is one pastor who continues to fearlessly stand firm amidst a mounting pressure and teach the simple, unchanging truths of the Bible, including the parts that are offensive to many. Of course, MacArthur is not the only pastor doing this. He may be one of the more high-profile pastors defying pressure to compromise concerning important biblical teachings, but there are certainly many others doing the same. In turbulent times like these, we need more men like John MacArthur.